everything came out yesterday. My man Lee Foster, courtside, SammyB and Lee, Q92 Sports, joining us on the program today to kind of talk a little high school hoops here on this Monday. Shooter, what's going on?
Partner, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Been a while. Couple of days.
What's the snow doing outside?
Ooh, how'd you like that waking up to that this morning?
Brutal.
I went to bed last night. It was 1-ish, 1:15, and I thought, ooh, this isn't really supposed to be covering the ground right now. And I woke up again, and I thought, oh, jeez, this is brutal. And then I said, well, at least we're not in New York, so I was okay.
Very true.
I'm that guy. So let's wrap up the weekend before we look at the brackets and the tournament draw and stuff like that. Anything kind of stick out to you from the games on mostly Friday? There was a couple Saturday, but really Friday. We, of course, did the Jackson-Louisville game, which turned out to be a pretty compelling game on Friday night. There was Massillon-Glen Oak. What stood out to you Friday around the county?
Yeah, I thought, a couple injury-related things. So I thought that Gio Jackson not playing for Massillon is obviously massive. So being down there, big guy, probably hurt a little bit. But Glen Oak gave it a great effort, only lost by 6. And, Louisville, we hadn't really seen them, we mentioned, since the first game of the year. So they looked much improved, even without Balcom, who has to sit the second half of the year. But then Jackson was down their point guard. Chase Maurer didn't play, so I thought that really affected the way that they were, just effective offensively. So we got to see a good one, and I went over Saturday and watched Hoover and Hoban over in North Canton, and that was a great game. Hoover down 3, Hirschberger hits a 3 at the buzzer to go to overtime, and then he laid one in with about 4 seconds to go that lifted Hoover to a 1-point victory over Hoban, who beat McKinley earlier in the season.
Right, yeah, beat them pretty good up there. Again, that was a while ago, but still, they kind of clamped down on the Dogs that night, and I think McKinley they weren't shorthanded yet that night, but they were kind of on the verge of being shorthanded after that game was over for a little bit. But so yeah, big comeback win for Hoover. I thought that was good for them coming off the game against Garfield Heights the other night. Who right now it looks to you like they are ready to take that next step for a tournament run? And we've been talking kind of like the same 4 or 5 teams all year, but it looks to me like there might be only maybe 2 that are ready to take off. Who would that be in your mind?
So if you're thinking the way I am, I think it's North Canton, Hoover, and it's Massillon. I think we've talked all year that the Division II route is obviously one of the easier ones to get there.
Yeah.
Massillon and Hoover, both their first 2 games, Hoover plays 32 seed East Lake North, and then Parma Heights, Valley Forge. Both those teams are not very good. And then they're going to get a 12 or 11 seed in the district final, which would be Solon or Painesville Riverside. So I think they've got a really nice path. Green chose to play Massillon instead of Hoover for the 3rd time. Because they were like the 31 seed, so they went in to play Massillon. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. And then whoever wins that plays the winner of 26 seed Boardman or 27 seed Wadsworth. And all those games we're talking about are straight to the district semifinal.
Right. I get
chose to play a sectional final.
Yeah.
Be off so long and not have the break. So
I kind of like that.
Both those teams have a great route. I think the danger, if you're looking out there, is Canton McKinley. They're going to be off 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Time they played a ball game. And Coach DeBevick and crew, the Polar Bears, hop on them to travel to the field house to play them for round 3. So I think that's the danger lurking, and maybe an upset alert if Jackson's playing well. They finish the season strong on a high note, and McKinley's gonna have a long break. So how do they manage that with Coach Boone and company?
Yeah, I got the sheet in front of me here. And we're looking ahead, like obviously the 27th of this week. They're going to be games. Hoover actually plays on Thursday. Looks like February 26th against Akron North. But, McKinley Jackson, March 3rd, Glen Oak Perrysburg, March 3rd, Green Massillon, March 3rd, Perry Twinsburg, March 3rd. And I kind of saw it. I said, Perry's at 21, Twinsburg's at 24. Could this be maybe the start for the Panthers to kick it in gear a little bit? But you mentioned Massillon and the fact that they may not have one of their vital pieces. Who knows? It could be for the whole tournament. Who knows? So, does that set them back, or do you think that they have enough firepower to maybe still get where they want to go?
Yeah, I think they've got more than enough to win those first two games and obviously win a district championship. Obviously, once it gets to the regional, you're going to play a really good team at that rate. And in the regional semi, I still think they would be favored if they're at full strength. So I'm hoping for their sake and Coach O's that Geo Jackson gets healthy and he can return to that roster here sooner than later. But I really do think Hoover and Massillon have great opportunities to be in the regionals. And the way it breaks down, they've both got a great shot to potentially get to Dayton.
Did it surprise you that the Bears and McKinley are going to go at it on the third?
I mean, if I'm McKinley, I hate it. If I'm Jackson, I love it. There's not a great option to go to, and there's only 18 teams in Division I and only so many districts. So they opt to stay close to home. They get to play in a place they're familiar with and have played them at before. And it's hard to beat a team 3 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you're Coach DeBevick, it's an easy sell on that staff to say, hey, we've got nothing to lose. We're not supposed to win this game, right? So you can play free. And if, hey, they have the capability to go make 15 threes and beat anybody. If I was McKinley, I wouldn't be excited to have to play Jackson in the first round.
Let's go down to D3. Alliance will play Firestone. That's a 1 seed versus a 47. I don't think there'll be any drama there. No. Northwest Kenston, Northwest at 20. Kenston is a 5. Mm-hmm. Is that right? Yeah. Louisville Aurora, that's a 29 versus a 35. And then Lake Garfield is a 7-11. But Garfield without their main guy certainly changes how that could turn out, correct?
Yeah, I think I believe it's Northeast 6, so that's got Alliance, that's got Louisville, and that's got Lake in it. I think that the district semi matchup between Louisville and Alliance could be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, neighboring districts really close to one another. I think that game could be pretty interesting. And Lake is kind of my sleeper of the whole tournament in terms of Stark County teams that if Akron Garfield's guys are truly out from what we've heard through the rumor mill, they could wind up in the district final playing Alliance or Louisville.
That'll be interesting. Yeah, you don't know what's 100% true coming out of Akron, but if the one main guy's out, I think they're in trouble anyway. But if you add to that, then they're really going to be in for it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that Garfield would have probably handled Lake at full strength, but if I'm Alliance, I'm the 1 seed, and I get to a district championship. I don't know. Do you want to go to Strongville and see Tommy McBride on the other bench? I don't. I mean, that's not on anybody's dance card.
No, it is not. Lee Foster, our guest, courtside with SammyB and Lee. Q92 Sports, talk a little high school hoop here on 1310 WDPN. And then we kind of moved down here a little bit, Division 4, West Branch, Canton South, Marlington, Benedictine. And then you've got the East District. You've got Carrollton, Minerva, possibly against the Lisbon winner. Canton Central Catholic is going to open up against Burton Berkshire. This is a 10 versus a 9 on Friday the 27th. And I should let everybody know that's an earlier start. That's a 6:00 start on that one. Manchester Northwestern, February 25th. So that's coming up. Jeez. Yeah. Wednesday.
Northwestern's really down. Coach Manchester should handle them, but I think it's an interesting setup there too. I think you could see your alma mater, Canton Central Catholic, and Manchester in the district final.
And that would be pretty good. Not terribly a lot of miles between both schools, and then that would be at Firestone, correct?
At Firestone.
At Firestone, yeah.
Firestone at 7.
So they got that. Then you go on down a little bit. You got Tusky Valley, Sandy Valley, Fairless all in action, St. Tom. But we and of course Malvern too, in East District 7. But is there a team or two? We've talked about Central a little bit. Is there a smaller division school that could maybe make a little noise right now?
I don't think so. I think when I looked at these and I started looking through them, I broke down Division 1, 2, 3, and 5. Because 5 obviously has got Central. We know Alliance, Lake, and Louisville in 3, Hoover, Massillon, and Perry in 2, and then McKinley and Jackson in 1. So I just kind of stuck there. I don't think Divisions 4, 6, and 7 have anybody there that can make a deep run, but I do think these other 3 all have viable options that they could make at minimal a regional semi to a regional final run.
Should be fun. We will have you covered between AM 1310 WDPN and Q92. As long as we got some local flavor, we'll be going all the way. All right, let's take a look at our courtside with SammyB and Lee all-county teams that we released yesterday. Honorable mention, first team, second team, coach of the year, player of the year. Let's go with let's just go with our. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's just run down the teams, and then maybe we'll get into the coach of the year and the player of the year a little bit, and we'll see how we go from there. I'm trying to pull up my.
I got them up.
You got your. I guess I got them too. So if you want to go ahead and roll honorable mention, and then we'll just kind of go from there.
Yeah, so honorable mention, we had, and I'll give names and schools. So Davey Thompson at McKinley, Isaiah Lamp at Massillon, Connor Knoll at Hoover, Chase Maurer at Jackson, Parker Woods at Alliance, Ronan Lang from Canton South, Lance Bukowski at Central, Rowan Hoffey at Minerva, Cameron Evanich at Marlington, Grady Barkley at Malvern, Lucas Dreyer at Lake, Parker Reinhardt at Tuslaw, Noah Harper at Lake Center, and Daryl Owens at Aquinas.
All right, there's our honorable mention. And again, if you missed these, you can look them up at Courtside Sam Lee on Instagram, on X. They're up there. We got the beautiful graphics. You can't miss them. Check those out. Maybe give them a like, a follow, a comment, a share, what have you. That would be pretty cool. Second team, all courtside. I'll do two, and I'll leave you with one. All right?
Perfect.
Okay, here we go. Second team, all courtside. Mason Morris Jackson, Brady McCann from Hoover, Geo Jackson, Massillon, Ed Webster, Javion Carter from McKinley, Cohen Rogers from Louisville, Sam Hayes Alliance, Jake Bowling, Canton Central Catholic, Carson Lipinski from Northwest, Chase Wolachuk from Green. And Shooter, you can go ahead and take first team.
Yep, first team all courtside was J.R. Jackson Alliance, Braylon Gamble, Jada Stigfen, and Xavier Williams from Massillon, Caden Lloyd from Jackson, Hunter Hirschberger from Northgate River, Anthony Chavers and Jamar Keys from McKinley, Isa White at Glenelg, and Nico Martelli, the big man from Perry.
All right. Then our coach of the year and player of the year. And honestly, we didn't have to really overthink this one too much, did we? This was probably the easiest part.
Yeah, I think so. You can go ahead and rip those off.
All right, so our all-courtside coach of the year, Josh Hose from Massillon, and our courtside player of the year from the Alliance Aviators, that, of course, is J.R. Jackson. What a year both coach and player are having for their respectable schools.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I tried to put a little bio in the description for each one, but this Massillon set a school record with 20 wins. Obviously, they still have a game to go Friday over against Jackson. But 20 victories is crazy. Obviously not in the league. They're independent, a little tougher to probably find games. But he's just done a terrific job, and I think that team is peaking at the right time, and they've been good all year. They lost one game and they lost on a buzzer beater. And mind you, I always tell everybody in early December when those guys just got done playing like 47 games of football. Right, so I don't think they have their basketball legs underneath them yet.
Exactly.
So I think that's a different team if they play again. And then obviously JR leading the county in scoring, just over 19 a game. I thought it was impressive. Coach Chet Harper, want to thank him too. I reached out to him. He said JR's at 1,560 career points, just past Raymar Morgan on the all-time county list. And he's good for second all-time in Alliance history behind only J.J. Kakura, and he's only about 100 points behind him. So if they play 4 or 5 games in the tournament,
he'll get it.
Probably etch his name as number 1 in the Aviator record book.
Wow. Good for him. Such a great kid. I was able to talk to J.R. Jackson during football season. Actually had him up to the press box during one of our Friday shows in the fall, and he just couldn't be a nicer kid, and does things the right way. And he knows he wouldn't be where he's at without his teammates on the football gridiron or the basketball court. And I was really kind of pulling for him. And I knew, like, all football season, I kept telling people, "Hey, you think he's good now? Wait till he gets on the basketball court." And he is dynamite. He's the kind of kid that if need be, he can carry you. He can carry you the whole way.
Yeah, and I don't know what will happen in terms of what Stark County does in terms of repository, but I think he could be maybe the first kid ever to win, Stark County Player of the Year in both football and
both sports. Yeah. What does that say? Think about that for a minute. I mean, wow.
Well, Well, not only the crazy passing and rushing numbers and the touchdowns. I mean, he also played defense and was one of the top guys in the county in interceptions.
Right, and he held for extra points and field goal. He did everything.
He missed everything. Didn't come off.
No, he didn't
do what he's done, and he's been doing this in hoops for 4 years.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, he's a 4-year starter. I mean, in credit to him for being able to stay healthy through all this. It's hard, especially playing that many games, that many plays, that many. It's a lot on a young kid's body, and he's been able to maintain and stay healthy through this whole thing.
No doubt. Lee Foster, our guest, courtside with SammyB and Lee, Q92 Sports, talking a little high school basketball here on this Monday. All right, just for fun. A simple question, but not a simple question. Will we have at least one team in Dayton this year going for a state title?
Yes.
Oh, that was quick. Okay. You must have some inside information.
Maybe not a state title, but to Dayton also means a state semifinal. But I think we get somebody to the Final Four.
Somebody to the Final Four. Okay. I like it. I like it. All right, partner. I'll let you get back to your real work.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll
do that. No, I do want to thank everybody, too, for interacting on social media. I'm counting up just between Instagram and
oh, my gosh.
Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, 100,000 plus views in just under 24 hours. So the interaction's been great. I think the kids are excited, and usually Courtside beats everybody to the punch with getting those teams out there early. So a lot of interaction. I think Stark County basketball fans were, parents, players, etc., coaches were excited to see those come out.
No doubt. And they're still up there, and you can check them out. The great graphics, all the teams, honorable mention, first team, second team, player of the year, coach of the year at Courtside Sam Lee. It's also up on the Q92 Sports Facebook page. So make sure you give those a like and a little comment, because I know the kids really love it. And we are more than happy to bring it all to you.
And I do have a little D1 scoop I'll give you before I sign off here. I'm hearing that Star Brunswick guard Trey Drexler is hurt.
Really?
Something with his wrist. I don't know how bad, but I'm hearing he's hurt and could be out a game or two.
Interesting. All right.
So keep an eye on that for the Bulldogs and potentially the Golden Eagles or Polar Bears trying to make a run through D1.
Interesting. All right, Uncle Leroy, we will we'll talk later on this week, and we'll get ready to head down the old tournament trail.
We're almost there, buddy. See you Friday.
There he goes. Lee Foster at Courtside, SammyB and Lee, and of course, does a great job on our broadcast on Q92.